Hello, testing. Testing, can you hear me? Let's see, I should be live, but don't know. It seems like it's taking a really long time for it to load, a little bit longer than usual. So, let's see. Okay, so it looks like I'm live now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool, guys. So today I'm going to be talking about how a mentorship student sold $4,400 in monthly recurring revenues last week. If you don't know what monthly recurring revenue that means, that's just oftentimes in bookkeeping and accounting and CFO services, we get paid in a monthly amount. So in monthly clients, you got $4,400 in the span of 1 week. And I kind of want to break that thing down for you guys so you know exactly what you need to do in order for your business to grow and reach that level as well. So let's do a little housewarming things, okay? So number one, okay, I'm going to be asking you to comment, like, share certain things in certain times inside of this live video. And the reason why is a couple of reasons. One, we need to make sure you actually understand exactly what I'm saying. So I am going to be asking to be like, hey, do you know what I just said? Do you understand this? Are there any questions about what I just said? So that you can make sure you fully grasp this stuff. Because there's no point in you just watching this video without you actually absorbing it, understanding what's going on, and being able to replicate it for yourself. Now, if you're watching this video live, go ahead and write down hashtag team live to know that, so I know you're live and I can actually ask more questions and make it more interactive for you. If you're watching this thing on the replay, write down hashtag team replay so I can leave some cool stuff for you as well. If at any time you want for me to reach out to you and answer some questions you might have about growing your business, write hashtag connect. And then finally, if you want to see if I can help you grow your business without having to make the mistakes that cause 90% of people to fail in their business, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me to see if I can help you. So let's jump into this, okay? So there's going to be a couple of distinct phases. Number one, so I'm also, if you see me looking down, it's because I'm reading off of my script and off of my paper. Also, if you want me to actually give this to you, I'm going to digitize it in probably about 30 minutes from now. I just didn't have any time before. I'm going to digitize it. I'm going to put it inside of a PDF so you can actually be able to get it. Just write down PDF, and I'll actually give you the PDF that has exactly what you need to be saying and what you need to be doing inside of it. Cool. So let's jump into this thing, okay? So the main thing is you guys need to know that in order to go and sell $4,400 per week, it doesn't just start with $4,400 per week. When he sold this, he actually crossed the $10,000 per month mark. It just so happened that he was doing $6,000 per month during it. He started at zero. He went to about $2,000 per month. Then he went from $2,000 to about $7,000 per month within the next 30 days. After that, he went from $7,000 to $10.4. Okay, so this is the progression we're talking about. Number one, we're going to be talking about marketing. Okay, so marketing needs to be a system. And whenever I'm thinking about a system, I'm thinking about the acronym CPR. It needs to be controllable, it needs to be predictable, and it needs to be repeatable, okay? If you don't have this CPR, your business is literally and figuratively going to die. So the first thing I'm always thinking about whenever I'm building my system is I'm taking a look at what are my current and what are my existing key performance indicators. For us in our business, the key performance indicators that you need to always be looking for is number one, how many people have you asked to give you money today? If the answer is zero, you're kind of behind the eight ball. You need to go and increase that number, okay? That is number one. In terms of which one is the most important. A lot of people don't really understand that. They think that, at least when I got started in my business about 7 years ago, back in 2014, I was thinking that it was all just about getting clients. I didn't really understand that it was about not just getting clients, but it was about this leading indicator. A leading indicator means that it's the thing that has to happen before you get the result. And the key leading indicator was how many people was actually saying a price to. If I said it to 0 people in the span of a month, I made $0. So the first thing you have to do is you have to be thinking, okay, cool, how many offers did I make in the last week, the last day, and the last month? And if you're not making the revenue or the income that you want to be making, you need to go and increase this number. Now, in order to increase that number, you need to be thinking, how many people do you actually invite to a sales consultation? Okay? If you're not able to offer enough people that means you have not invited enough people to your sales consultation. So you need to be making more invitations. All right, cool. So now the next thing is, how many new followers or new connections and contacts did you make in the last day, the last week, and the last month? Again, if you didn't get enough phone calls, if you didn't have enough people to invite to a phone call, it's because you didn't meet enough people. So now, let's even take a step back. What is someone that makes a good quality follower or a good quality connection. So the barometer for me is really going to be about size of business, mentality of the business owner, as well as what is their view on you, your service, and how they spend money. A lot of people don't really understand that it's not just about how much money someone has. It also comes down to, do they actually find value in what you're doing? Because if they do not find value with what you're doing, they are not going to pay you money. And then also, if they don't really value you as a person, but they value the service, they're going to be willing to pay somebody else money, but they might not pay you money. And what's going to come out is they're going to either be very disrespectful, or they're going to, say, hey, your price is kind of high. Can we do more like $50 to $150 per month? And that's no fun on anybody's, side. So now we have those things down. We need to really, and before I go further, if there are any questions about one of these leading performance indicators that are going to cause you to make more money, go ahead and ask the question inside the comments. If you fully understand what we're talking about before I move forward, put a 1 down inside of the chat. And also, sorry if it feels like I'm moving really, really fast today. I am kind of downloading a lot of different things and just trying to speak really fast and trying to give as much information as possible inside of these calls. I know that Facebook generally likes to make these things about 20 minutes long, or else it stops showing it to quite as many people. Okay, so Sabrina said 1. I see some people inside the comments. They're saying they are live on this thing with me, so I'm super excited about that. I really appreciate your time, really appreciate your attention. Cool. So next thing, guys, when we're thinking about marketing, you have to be thinking in terms of longevity. Your marketing needs to be getting easier over time. When I talked earlier about how the student, not only sold the $4,400 in a week, but that $4,400 last week that he sold put him over the $10K per month mark. That happened in 90 days of working with me. Right? So listen to the progression. In the first 30 days, he went from $0 to $2,000 per month. The next 30 days, he went from $2,000 to $7,000 per month. And in the remaining 90 days, he went from $7,000 to $10.4. And that's not including the cleanups and the different projects that he was getting along the way. This is only the monthly services. If you notice, it's actually starting to exponentially go up. And him getting to $15,000 or $20,000 per month is right around the corner. The reason why is because whenever I build a marketing process with one of my students, we're making it so that it builds and builds and builds and builds, right? Because there's a certain percentage of people where when they first either connect with you or first come into your world, they are what we call in market. Now, someone who's in market, that just means that they're looking for your service right now. They just didn't really know who to trust, or they didn't really know who to go to. So the first person that they saw and the first person they felt a connection with was actually going to get the deal. Now, when you're dealing with someone like that, your job is to know exactly how to price your service so that they're already going to say yes. You just have to make sure that when they do say yes, it's at a price that is maximizing the amount that you could actually charge while minimizing the amount of time that you're going to have to spend on that project. Now, that's key number 1, okay? Number 2, the second type of buyer is a person who is kind of on the fence. They're thinking about doing this service. They just don't really want to know who to trust. 2, they don't really know if it's the right time. Now, these are the ones who you're going to find probably about 50 to 80% of your leads are going to be in that scenario. The way that you wear those people down is through either content or conversation. Content is generally the easiest one because it can be the thing that's talking to people, or that is either written, it can be talking, it can be a video, it can be a podcast, but it's the thing that's having interaction with the potential client while you are not there. The even easier way you can do it is with conversation. For example, the student we're talking about, his name is Paul. So what Paul does is we have a very structured messaging campaign that allows you to be able to talk to people to get a time frame and to get an understanding of when are they looking to make that decision, what will they need to see inside of their lives in order to know that now is the right time, and then over time you keep having these conversations, then all of a sudden a lot of people who are on the fence finally say, okay, I'm ready to get started. And then they start going and they go and they go and they go. And every single week, every single month, every single year that you do this process, the amount of people who are on the fence and in that 50 to 80% is growing. And it's growing, right? So right now he has about 1,000 people who he has conversations with who are inside of his target market. And it's growing and growing and growing and growing. It's growing between about 200 to about 500 every single month as his marketing machine is starting to move a little bit faster and a little bit faster and a little bit faster, right? So that 1,000 is pretty soon going to become about 4,000 by the end of the year. And then that 4,000 is going to become, what's 4 times 4? 16,000 by the end of that next year, right? And every single time it gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier as he grows and as he moves forward. And that's really what we're thinking about with marketing. Now, at what point does it stop? It really stops at whatever point he becomes satisfied at. I'm thinking for him, the next target we're shooting for is about $25,000 per month, which where he lives, $25,000 per month is like the same thing as making like, $450 to $1 million a year in certain places. Now, for certain people, they might need $25,000 just to per month just to quit their job. So it really depends on where you're going and what you need. But the opportunity is there for you to be able to keep growing and growing and growing, because then you can start managing a team. Then you can start really having a lot of your services just start opening up, right? And that's really how marketing is supposed to be working. Okay, it starts out slow. It starts out very confusing. For a lot of people, if you don't have a good process, it's very, very kind of cumbersome. And over time, you start getting better, and you start getting better, and you start getting better. Now, again, if you wanted to skip a lot of those steps, you can just book a call with me and see if I can help you, okay? That's how all the students that I talk about week after week who grow their business so much faster, it's not that they just kind of lucked into this stuff. It's not that they're just doing stuff just to do stuff. They have a really structured process and proven strategy in place that allows them to be predictable, allows them to be consistent, allows the stuff to be repeatable, right? So that if they stop, they can always pick it back up and have the same things going, the same things moving, and then you start exponentially growing the business. So super excited to be able to share that. The final thing we're going to talk about is what it actually takes to become a person who actually can sell, $4,400 in a week in monthly services, okay? It's your inside beliefs, your internal beliefs. Because how we frame and view the world is really what determines our outcomes, because then how we frame the world is what we're actually looking for and how we're seeing things. If you think that people have a lot of money to give you, they will have a lot of money to give you. If you think that people are against you, people will be against you because, you're kind of against them. Another thing is you have to be able to keep your word. Anything that this student says he does, he does. It's just one of those things. You keep your word. You become a person that actually keeps their word, right? Another thing is he shows up every single time. A lot of people, who I see who are struggling, if you look at the way they operate their life, and you look at the way that they actually operate their energy, they don't show up. That means that they have a sales call with a potential client, they don't really come to that sales call, or they come late, or they come unprepared, or they just totally no-show it completely. That person doesn't succeed. It doesn't succeed. And how you do it with one meeting is generally how you're going to be doing it with multiple meetings. And you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities that could have potentially been really big. Okay? So the way that you actually start improving and start enhancing the chances for you to be able to succeed is you show up every single time. Another thing is you have to really start getting comfortable inside of sales scenarios. A lot of people that struggle, the first big thing that they say is, I hate sales. Okay, if you hate sales, how do you think you're going to be able to sell $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 per month worth of stuff? That's a lot of time spent talking to potential clients about them giving you their money. And if you hate every single second of it, you're not going to be comfortable. They're going to get a bad vibe or a bad feeling. They don't really understand why they're getting that bad feeling. They're going to think it's like a red flag, or they trust their gut and they just don't go with you. So what you have to do, you have to be really comfortable in the sales situation. For example, anytime that you're being sold something to, that is a time for you to practice what it is like to be on a sales call. For example, for me, I love anytime that somebody sells me something, they do it well. Whether it's I was at the movie theater the other day and I was asking the person, should I get a small, a medium, or a large popcorn? And the guy was I was thinking a small, and the guy's well, the large is only $2 more than the medium. And I was shit, that's true. And I bought the large. And that was just such a, I even said, dude, that was amazing, dude. That was a really great reframe. You're really good at this. Another one is at the jewelry store, right? The jeweler was just, she had this cool pressure on me, and it was oh my gosh, you are really good at this. Same thing, this guy cold called me, and I didn't buy the specific thing he gave, but I actually gave him some money through PayPal just because, it was a really good presentation. I just wasn't really interested in the thing that he wanted, right? But it keeps getting easier and easier and easier for me to sell more things because I am comfortable in sales scenarios. If you're uncomfortable, if you feel like the second you get on the phone with somebody, they're pressuring you, you gotta change that attitude, just to be completely honest. Like, you're not gonna be able to push and to be able to ask the right questions and hold your ground inside of a sales conversation if you are incredibly scared of sales and you don't want to be seen as pushy, you don't want them to think that you're stupid, you don't want them to be offended by you, you don't want them to think that you're a used car salesperson. You gotta let all that stuff go. And it's not something you do overnight, it's something that you do warm up to over time, but that's what it takes, okay? You gotta keep your word, gotta show up every single time, you gotta love being inside the selling environment. You have to think that people have money to give you, and you have to be standing there with open arms, ready to receive. Okay, that's what it takes to get to that $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 per month mark. If this video was a little bit kind of in your face, and those last couple things, didn't really stand up to your core beliefs, I'm sorry, but I would be doing you a disservice if I was lying to you and not really holding you accountable to what it takes to be successful. It doesn't take a lot. It just does take being very, very specific with your life and with your time. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something new. If you want some help growing your business, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me and see if I can help you out. We're going to do 3 things on the call. The first thing we're going to do is take a look at exactly where you are right now. Then we're going to take a look at exactly where you want to go. And then thirdly, if I think I can help you out, I'll just outline what that process is going to look like for us to work together. And then we can go into it together hand in hand to reach your goals together so you can avoid failure. If that's you, I will see you on the call. You'll either speak to me or a member of my team, and I cannot wait to help you out along the way. I'll talk to you soon, and I will see you inside of the next video, or I will see you on the call.